we've been seeing a spike in cases as we all came back at the beginning of the semester. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we're seeing. And so we estimate on average that it looks like each infected individual is infecting between 2 and 3 other folks. And so this is quite a bit higher than what we would kind of hope for. And basically what that means is that even with our current tracing programs, we're basically not able to get people into isolation or quarantine quickly enough to prevent them from infecting other individuals. And so this is, again, this is an average number. And what that means is that there's a couple different ways that this could be driven up higher than what we would hope for. And so it's hard to know exactly what the cause is, but one way that this kind of number can get a lot larger than you would otherwise expect is if there are large events, because rather than that meaning that just one individual is infecting people kind of slowly over time where we can get people into quarantine or isolation, it means that there's a single event that basically kind of causes this to happen much quicker. And because it's almost instantaneous, we don't have time to get people kind of isolated like we would hope to. And the second way that this is commonly happening is if folks aren't reporting their symptoms quite quickly enough. And so if you don't report your symptoms, then you can go on to infect other people before they know that, before you're able to get those people or yourself into isolation. And then those people, before they're able to get into quarantine, can go on to infect other people, and this can have really big downstream effects. And so just to kind of draw out what we're seeing right now, if we just graph the cases that we've been seeing over the past week, it looks something like this, where we've got this kind of very steep upward trajectory. And our projections, kind of without any other mitigation, look like that could kind of keep going up, which is definitely not what we're hoping for.
That is a steep curve, which means if we stay on our current trajectory, a lot of people in our Wake Forest community will become infected with COVID-19. But there is good news. We have seen, even in our own community, how temporarily increasing our mitigation efforts can have a real impact on that curve. Last October, we saw that moving to the orange status really helped to reduce the number of cases on campus. So there are 2 things that you can do to help. The first is to follow our new mitigation plan. And second, be sure to report any symptoms you may have as soon as you develop them. This is really the best way to slow transmission because we can stop that chain.
For example, if this individual ends up reporting their symptoms very quickly, these folks may still get sick because it's possible that this person transmitted to them before they knew they had symptoms. But you are able to cancel out these downstream infections because these individuals are able to get quarantined before they become infectious. And so essentially you can cancel these and if we expect this to keep going on, in theory, we're also canceling all of their downstream infections, which obviously are going to just multiply kind of as we go on. So it can have a huge impact by just making sure that we're getting folks into quarantine and isolation as quickly as possible. And so coming back to our graph here, it basically can change our potential trajectory to essentially level off at first, and then eventually hopefully go down so that we can get our cases back down and get back under control.
I know this has felt like a long year, but we are approaching a finish line. Vaccines are rolling out, and there is strong incentive to stay healthy long enough to get vaccinated. If we all do our part, we can reduce the number of cases on our campus. At Wake, we embrace our Pro Humanitate calling for using our knowledge and compassion to help those around us. It's the Wake way.